Hello everybody and welcome to our video about the Kildare branch Down Syndrome Ireland and 36 years of supporting people with Down syndrome and their families in the Kildare West Wicklow area. Today we are videoing from our site on the ETB campus at Piper's Hill. From this base we deliver early development, speech and language therapy, adult education literacy classes, touch, type, read and spell computer classes. Our office is also here at the base and we deliver all our committee activities from here. I often think as a parent that raising a child with Down syndrome is far more like a marathon than a sprint. Your lives and their lives are inextricably linked. That journey will take you down roads and into worlds that you would never have gone, and you have to make the best of that. Even our branch today is a group of friends and people and experiences that we would have never had except for the fact that we have a child with Down syndrome.
The Kildare branch of Down Syndrome Ireland is run by committees of volunteer parents who have passed on the baton to new committees down through the years. The Kildare branch currently has over 215 member families based in Kildare and West Wicklow. So where did it all begin? The Kildare branch was founded in 1985 by some very courageous and forward-thinking parents. Meetings began in 1985 and Kildare's first AGM was held in January 1986. May Gannon was elected chairperson, Kathleen Murphy secretary and Justin Murphy treasurer. Kathleen and Justin have been looking back on the early days of the Kildare branch of Down Syndrome Ireland.
In 1984 my son Brian was born and there was no Down Syndrome Association. So in 1985 I decided to put a notice in the paper to see how many parents would be interested. As a result, we had a meeting and 15 people turned up. From there, anytime we had a meeting, it had to be notified by postcard because we didn't have emails or Facebook or any of those things.
At our first meeting, we got some assistance from the Kildare branch or from the Dublin branch, and they kind of set us up on how to run it. And we had a meeting every month. And we brought along some expert in some field or other of special needs, and it was very helpful to the parents, especially young parents who were experiencing difficulties for the first time.
In mainstream school, there was no such thing as SNAs. I was Brian's SNA. I had to go into the school morning and evening to help out the teacher, because the Department of Education resisted anything to do with SNAs or anything because they didn't want the expense, I suppose, of doing it.
Kildare was the first branch to introduce what we called then a resource teacher, and we funded privately by hard work and fundraising, and we hired a special needs assistants, as they're called now, who travelled around to 3 different schools in Kildare, which meant that each child only got a couple of hours, not like what they get now with the SNA sitting with them in the class.
As I said earlier, there was a lot of resistance from the Department of Education. We had lots of meetings with them, but they did not want to know about it because I'm sure they didn't want the floodgates to open for expense for SNAs in the classrooms.
We were disappointed with this because we thought we had proved our point with our own private resource teacher that it worked, and we had proof from some of the principals in the schools that it would work if they had somebody in the class. They could then bring the child along to the maximum of their ability with that extra help. And it may be hard for young parents to believe now, but in 2022 we now have thousands of SNAs all over the country. And that, in part, was thanks to the Kildare branch's pilot scheme.
As we come to the end of this video, we reflect on how far we've come. This progress has not been accidental, and it's definitely not something that we can take for granted. This progress has been as a result of hard work, bravery, and huge generosity in the giving of time, talents, and energy by so many people. But the reality is that in order to continue this progress, we need you, our members, to take up that baton and continue that generosity of time and that commitment to our members. We need a society that's inclusive and values our members with Down syndrome and the contribution that they can make. We need a corporate sector that values and supports our members with Down syndrome and our branch that enhance the lives of our people in all the work we do. They say it takes a village to raise a child. We are that village for people with Down syndrome. Nobody can do everything, nor is it fair to expect them to do, but we all can play our part in being the change that we want to see for our loved ones with Down syndrome in this world.